In this video, I'm going to talk about the psychology of weight loss because a lot of times every time you look around and all that, we could not see people who are actually so fit. Only when we could go into gym we can see few people. Otherwise, you just look around, we can't see that many fit people. But most of our human beings' goal is to also remain fit, at least for the healthy purposes, if not for beauty purposes. But it's becoming a very tough task for anyone to attain it. And every time this new year resolution comes, all of us talking about, I have to reduce my weight and remain fit. And you follow all the diets which are coming up in that particular year, maybe keto diet or paleo diet or whatever diet, intermittent dieting, or you also could see a lot of advertisements which shows that you have to wear some slimming belt and you will become very thin. All these kind of things do attract us, and we start doing it, and we also start registering to a gym and then just go with that kind of active feeling for 1 week or two. After that, maintaining the weight loss goal is becoming a very challenging situation. And I would say that out of 100%, I could say like 80% of people do fail in their weight loss goal every day. And you'd be wondering, like, I really want to look fit, I really want to look good, and I really want to get married only if I can become slim, or if I have to just because I have to get pregnant, I have to lose my weight. For many reasons we all want to lose our weight and look fit and also be fit. But is it that easy? That's a big question to answer. So I would say that you'd be surprised to know that weight loss actually starts from the mind. It starts in the brain actually. So it's called psychology of weight loss. So in this video, I'll be discussing about what are the psychological blocks or barriers which is keeping you away from attaining that goal you really dreamt of. And in the forthcoming video, I'll be discussing about the tips with which you can actually have, try to really put all these tools into practice and attain that dream goal. So even before going for the tips, you should know why are we not able to lose that weight. And also many researchers, they have proven that whatever kind of programs you register yourself for and reduce weight, be it like paleo diet or keto diet or whatever diet it can be, you might reduce weight, but after a while you start again gaining the same weight you lost. A lot of people, a lot of you who could listen to me can relate to what I'm saying, I believe. So, and many people say that it's not only about exercise, you need to really diet and you just have to focus on the diet. But the fact is, we need to start planning mentally before we could go physically. A lot of mental makeup has to be done before we could put these things into action. So for that, you need to get a little bit of psychoeducation of how really this weight loss works, because I could proudly say that I myself, I can call myself as a person who has reduced quite a lot of weight, and I followed all these kinds of so-called secret techniques. So I'll be more than happy to share it all with you. So the first thing is, you should understand as a human being what we evolved from our ancestral timing is like we're all hunters and gatherers. That means we used to like look out for food, and as much of food possible we used to intake, because we don't know when famine will hit. So before that could hit, people do eat a lot, like the camel, how it takes a lot of water and it keeps it with itself in times of need. Similarly, human beings also stores food in terms of in case of famine, and when they are not able to find out any food resources, that particular stored fat will break down and it will give us the energy. So that is the reason why we are like wanting to eat food all the times even though we don't feel hungry. So it's not possible that we can be so keen on dieting and all that, because genetically we are not wired that way. And one more block would be that because of our genetics or biology, but that is very, very less percentage. So folks, please don't ever blame it on your genes. My father is obese, my mom is obese, so I only could be obese. Not necessarily, because it's a very less role genes play. A lot of other roles our environment do play, and definitely you can have control over your weight. That's a good news. And also people blame it on their hormones or the thyroid or whatever it could be. But the thing is, that's not going to be a major barrier for your weight loss if you're really inclined to. Okay, so no more we can blame on those things. And then I'm going to share why else we are not able to lose that weight. It's because, please understand, our habits are something which is like, when the term habit itself, I tell you, it's very, very difficult to break that. It's not that easy to break a single habit also. Just one simple example I could give you. If doctor says that, okay, you have to just take 2 pieces of apple after your lunch every day. How many of you could say that, yes, doctor, I can take it? It's very difficult. It looks so simple, but then it becomes very difficult. Why? Because it's not that easy to break a habit, even though you know that it's going to yield lot of positive benefits to you. So imagine we are being like a couch potato and being like always in a, we are not used to any sort of exercise. Your body and your mind is not tuned to any sort of exercise or dieting, and suddenly jumping to that mode, it's like jumping to the ocean. It's not that easy. So you should know the strength of habits, and also you should know the key how to break the habits. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's not that easy, and you should find out a way, and also only then, and you should get the right motivation. That's very important. And habits can be only broken by right motivation and consistent efforts and willpower. That is very important. So that is one of the reasons why we are not able to very easily break this habit, and people jump into it, but after a week or so, or even maybe let's say maximum a month, after that they can't be consistent, and this is the reason why you can't do it. And one more reason is poor lifestyle. Because nowadays youngsters, and most of them, whenever I go for workshops and also counseling, I'm shocked and surprised to listen to the fact that they're going to sleep only by 2 a.m., 3 a.m. That's become an order of the student's life also, and that is a very, very dangerous sign, because weight loss can only happen if you get good rest, and lot of other things are associated with the ill effects of not sleeping on time. I'm not going to go to that detail. Sticking to this topic of weight loss, I would say that how much ever exercise you do, how much ever dieting you do, if you're not going to follow a proper sleep routine, it's not going to help. So it's very important that you stick to the 6 to 8 hours of sleep, and also go to bed at the least by 10:30. And you should get that much needed sleep. Only then all your hormones and all other things would be work and it be in place, which can enhance your your efforts during the day. And one more thing is, you should have a healthy, balanced diet. Dieting doesn't mean that you should starve yourself. Starving doesn't work actually in the long term. Okay, because what happens is, when you're going to follow the strict self-discipline, and you're having the much needed food you crave, but you're not having that so-called self-control, because I want to become thin and fit, and don't take it. You do it, you can continue to do, but after a while, maybe the same night, you can't stop yourself from going on for a binge eating for something like an ice cream or a fatty food or something, because self-control does not sustain itself. So what I would suggest is, you should eat a healthy, balanced diet without starving yourself. Otherwise, some way or the other, your body will tune itself to get into that kind of binge eating. So following a healthy lifestyle, if you ask yourself, ma'am, I'm doing everything but I'm not reducing the weight, please ask yourself, are you following the healthy lifestyle? Lifestyle includes regular exercise, sleep and diet. And the next barrier for weight loss is stress, so-called stress in your life. So many researchers have proven that when you're so happy and in a positive mindset, even if when you eat lot of good food, and even so-called I wouldn't always advocate for the junk foods, but generally the foods you really crave for, that potato or that biryani, whatever you call, and when you're in very good mood, you take those foods, body will have its own resources to burn those things, burn those fats. But just if you could take very little amount of food and you're stressed, everything is gone. Your body cannot digest, and that will be stored in a form of fat, and then you gain the weight. So how much ever you do, and if you're so stressed because of dieting and because of exercising itself, then please don't expect any weight loss in the long run. We are talking about consistency and persistence here, and how long your weight loss could sustain. It's not about losing 2 kg in a week. It's about not gaining that plus 1 kg in the next week also. So you got to manage your stress in life. Otherwise, whatever you do, you cannot, because stress has a lot of impact on your glucose mechanisms and all other systems, which are going to be very important for your metabolism. And whenever stress is there, the hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, whatever these hormones which were related to the stress is secreted, your metabolism is affected, your glucose metabolism is affected, so you will like feel like binge eating which you couldn't stop. That we call it as an emotional eating. So many women has complained about this binge eating stuff. They know that I have to reduce weight and all that, but when they go into that stress mode, you can't stop it. You just want to eat a lot no matter what come may. So it's very important that you should be able to manage stress, otherwise it could be a major barrier. And one more thing is about your body image. What is your attitude towards yourself, about as long as your body image is considered? If you're going to hate yourself, if you're going to look at your body in front of the mirror and say, look yuck, and I don't look good, look at my tummy, it's so flabby, and if you're going to hate each and every part of your body, take it from me that you're not going to lose your weight. People say that inferiority complex or that kind of demotivation can help you, but it cannot sustain you. So the first very important thing is self-acceptance is the key for weight loss. As long as you're not going to be able to accept yourself for who you are, what you are, how you look, you're not going to lose that weight. So it's very important that you should have a positive body image also. Lastly, very powerful barrier, and you'll be surprised to listen to this, is that your subconscious beliefs. These are the ones which is going to stop you ultimately from any kind of powerful weight loss programs. So as a psychologist, not many of you might be knowing about the subconscious beliefs which can stop you from that weight loss goal. And I'll try to illustrate with simple examples for you to get it. See, if you could see any ladies in a gym or even any man, they would ask, they can just have some kind of cognitive distortions. I had one colleague of mine who came and said like, if I lose weight, doctor, I'm going to look very sick, and relatives used to tell me that, why have you lost so much weight, you're looking so sick, and your cheek bones is even not good. All this thing they start telling, and the face is the first place where my face will look so dull. So these are the things they have. When they are going to have this kind of belief system, definitely it's going to stop them from the weight loss. And please understand one secret from today, that anything we are continue to do has its own payoffs. And this will be a little difficult to understand and more intense also. But if you could understand this trick minds play, you can easily get over it. And whatever we are, even though you're obese and even though you're not like overeater you are, and you're a foodie, whatever it may be, you are continuing to do what you're continuing to do because of the payoffs you get out of it. And you're able to find out the payoffs, then you can break those barriers and reach the much needed goal you need actually. So people may say, what are you talking about? I really want to reduce my weight. Even though you say that in your conscious level, your subconscious mind and your unconscious mind may be blocking you from that goal because of the benefits you are getting without your knowledge about being in the same position. One more example is maybe you're a people pleaser, and slim people and the so-called fit people are not generally liked by many people, especially our closed ones. Jealousy is the impact and all that, and you want to belong to the people who are also obese and feel that, okay, I belong to this crowd. And for all these factors, whatever reasons could be, okay, you can ask me like, how can I get through this barrier and go towards the goal? So stay tuned. The next part of this video, I would be discussing about the powerful tools to break all these barriers what we discussed today. Almost 6 to 7 barriers I think I discussed today with you. It's very important to know the barriers, only then you could break them. So I hope this video would be an eye-opener for you to understand the barriers for weight loss. And then in the next video, when you could find out your barrier, you will be ready with the tools to break those barriers and definitely reach the much needed goal of weight loss and fitness. So stay tuned. We'll catch up in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye.